Hello and welcome to Path of Exile Necropolis League. This is episode 3 of the tips and tricks, so let's get into it. The first tip is to do with the orb of the blessed orb, and what we're going to do is the most common thing is people see something like this, and if you hold down Alt, the implicit there has a range from 17 to 23. So these cost half a chaos each. They're very cheap. And they re-roll that first line, just the implicit line. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And I'll hold down Shift, and I can keep clicking. So I'm looking for a 23. Perfect. Now that's better than it was before. Same thing, I've got to improve that one. So we'll do that. No problem. And done. Cool. You can also do it on this. I just did it on these. If I had to hold down Alt, the implicit was 25 to 40. I just did it there. So we'll do it here as well. And what's the range here? A 30, so like a 28. Let's see if we can get a 28 or better. That's fine. And then also, we're going to use this one. So let's go over these real quick. This is the Eldritch currency, and it's in your currency tab right here. On the exotic, it's going to be listed over here. I took a stack. I've got an item here. This currency and this currency, these two, will work on your gloves, your body armor, your boots, and your helmet. So let's apply that to this. So it's got a spot. There's no implicits on there. So we're going to roll it. So let's roll it. We're going to get something cool. Inflects fire, overwhelm. Sure, why not? Or a physical based thing. Nope, I don't want that one. Or that one. Or that one. No. Shocks, no. That's fine. So for right now, I got those two. But here's the thing. See how it says 8 to 9 and 3 to 5 and 7 to 9. So those aren't perfect rolls. We're looking for a 5 to 9 and a 9. We can actually use the blessed orbs on these as well. And it re-rolls both of them. There's a 9. That's good enough for me. And now they're better. So you can use them on regular items, the uniques, and your Eldritch, the lines there as well. Pretty cool. I hope that helps. Tip number 2 and 3 are going to be the gem and flask quality recipes. So let's go over to a gem tab and bring that up. And then I sort by quality. And let's go down to into this range. So what we're looking for is a total quality of 40 or more. So let's go with, I don't know, we'll get 1, 2, and we'll use it. So that right there adds up to 16, and so we're 33. So we're looking for a 7 or more, and we got a 7 right there, just like that. So let's do this right away. We'll go up here. We'll sell that. Nice, and we get a gem cutter's prism. If we use a gem cutter's prism on any of our items here, so let's say a cyclone, will actually improve the quality of it. And if you hold down Alt, it'll show what that improved quality does on the gem. Not bad. Perfect. So that's how you can get gem cutter's prisms if you need them that way. Tip number 3 is the same way. We're going to go with a 12. What was that? A 18, and we need a 10 for 30. We'll grab another 12. Why not? Pretty cool. And if we vendor these, I just hold Control and left click them in there. We get back a glass bauble. Very cool. And you use those to improve the quality. Now, if we use it on a magic one already, it's only going to raise it by 2 instead of on that was 3 or 1. This gave us 2 quality. And if we hold down the Alt key, it'll tell us how much the quality it actually improved the recovery, that number there. Nice. Next up is a tip that'll help you get around faster. So let's say you're just starting the league and you're into Act 3 and you've come through here at the City of Sarn. Clarissa is rescued and you get to the City of Sarn and you're right here. But you don't want to walk all the way back. You can just do this. You could exit to your character selection, then push play again. It'll log you back in right into the city center. which is a little, it'll log us in right there. This is already unlocked. But if you don't want to do that at all, and you just want to continue the quest, the quest lines, you can just walk right over here and just go on and continue your quest. You don't have to go into town to do that. But that's nice. You don't have to walk all the way there just to unlock that. And I confirmed it too. Cool. The fifth tip comes down to a possibility of a gamble, and you're going to be gambling on these uniques. The easiest ones to gamble on are things like rings and belts, stuff like that doesn't have sockets that you have to change and get ready for the gamble. So stuff like this. So let's say this ring right here. This late in the league, 3 chaos. Not terrible, but let's say you want to make a lot more than that. There's a possibility that you could. What about this one? 1 chaos. And this one, 3 or 4 chaos, and 1 chaos. So these are all good candidates. You're not going to be losing much if you want to take the gamble on these. You're going to take your Vol Orbs and just vol them all up. And we're going to see what we get. And that 2 or 3 might sell or might not. You know what I mean? It's a low possibility. So let's find out what we got. Nope, that's a no. And this one. Looks like we got something interesting. So we'll take that off and that off. So just this alone, we'll search for it. Nice. So we could actually sell this ring for probably 13 chaos, the Highwayman, because I do the price check thing with PoE Awaken Trade, and then I take these off, but this corrupted one is what we corrupted onto it. Pretty cool. And when we search, it brings up that. So I think we could sell this for probably 13 or maybe 9 chaos. Not bad at all. And then what about this one? That's probably a no-go. Now there's a chance that it could actually, if you want to take a look at it and see, there's a possibility that somebody might want this just as this ring. It's not terrible. It's level 35. This is level 65. Probably they'll have better rings than that. Let's see if we got anything else. Nope. And what about this one? We could just F1. No, it's just turned into that. We'll save that ring for the 60 recipe. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. No, didn't do anything on there. That's probably a no. What about this one? Nope. Nope. Looks like we only got maybe 1. That's a little low as far as the gamble goes, but not bad. We got 13 chaos, and these other ones might not have even sold. But that's a way you can do it, and you could get something worth 100 chaos. I've done it quite a few times. So I hope that helps, and that just gives you a chance to gamble on your uniques that are just laying around anyways. And this only costs a little, like maybe a little less than a chaos each. So if you have a bunch of Owl Orbs and you want to have some fun, that's what you can do with it. Pretty cool. And for number 6 is the chaos recipe. So let's say you want those chaos orbs because you want to actually buy stuff. You're new to the game. You just made it into maps. There's a few different ways you can make chaos. This is one of them. And the chaos orbs are these, and you can buy quite a bit with them. In fact, I bought all this gear for 16 chaos. Like this was 1 chaos, 1 chaos, 1 chaos. Pretty cool. So how do we get those from a vendor recipe? Let's go over that. You're going to be looking for rare items that are not ID'd, so it's un-ID'd, and you're going to be looking for the item level, if you hold down Alt, to be between 60 and 74. So if it meets that criteria, which would be like the tier 1 map, the very first maps you do, that kind of stuff, Reliquary, level 68 area, that'll drop these. So I just went into Reliquary and grabbed these things out. And what you want to do is you want to vendor. So we're going to go vendor. You're going to want to vendor 1 of every item slot. Now you can do a helm, the amulet, 2 rings, the feet, the belt, the boots, and the chest piece. But then when it comes to the weapons, it's up to you. I usually like going with, so I'd click it in there and I would click, I usually go with a 2-hander. It's just pretty simple. But you could also go with a 1-hander with a shield or a quiver and a bow. You could do that combination. But usually what I do is I do a combination of that and then 1 of each of these items, all the other slots. So for me, it's a total of 9 items. But if you use 2, it would be 10 items total. But for me, I used 9 items. 1 of the chest, that, and then 1 of each of the other ones. And if they're all un-ID'd and they're all rare, and you've got it correctly, in the right item level, you'll get 2 chaos back, and it can happen pretty quickly. What you want to do, I'm just going to vendor these. What you want to do is set up a tab, and what I usually do is I'll set up a tab, 2 tabs, like one of these, and I'll just fill up that tab with a bunch of armor and a bunch of 2-handed weapons, and I'll fill that up to the brim. And then I'll fill up a second tab with a line of helms, a line of hands, and then a line of boots. And then I'll put some belts over here. But the thing that really slows you down are the rings and the amulets and that kind of thing. So I start lining those up, and as soon as I get like 5 or 6 sets worth, then I vendor them all at once, and all of a sudden 5 sets, I've got 10 chaos, and I can buy something cool. Pretty nice. Little side note: if you find an item that's green, red, and blue linked, and there's, this counts as a green, and red, and a blue socket linked, if you sell it, it'll always give you one of these chromatics, and those are pretty useful. Not bad. Cool. So now you have the chromatics, the chaos orbs, and you can either buy them in trade leagues or in solo self-found. You're going to be re-rolling items or re-rolling maps to get different mods on them, rare items. It basically re-rolls the stats on the item. So like this item, it would re-roll all the prefixes and suffixes down there. And there's usually 3 of each. On a rare, it's up to 3 of each, 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. But then there's also this regal orb, and that upgrades a magic item to a rare item. So that's done for crafting. It's used a lot in solo self-found, stuff like that. But to get this item from the vendor, you still get 2. If you do the same recipe, but the item level is 75 or greater, so the same recipe as the Chaos Orb, you'll get 2 of these. And that's the Regal Orb. The thing is, even if one item is unidentified, then you're going to get, or identified, then you'll only get 1 of each. So there you go. That's how you can get these from the vendor. And it's a quick way to do it. It's not that terrible, but you should be progressing away from that recipe as soon as possible, because you're going to be progressing through maps and getting a lot more chaos, and then it's just not time efficient to do that recipe. But it's not bad, especially when you're starting out and you need a few. Tip number 8 is a very easy one. If you find this map, go ahead and run it. It's a pretty easy map to run, but it'll unlock one of your points because it's unlikely that you've run it before. If you're just doing your Atlas to unlock points for it so that you can spend Atlas points, this is a very cheap map to buy too. 3 chaos, you can get one of these and basically you'll get your money back from the items. I think, it's area contains no monsters. It's just a bunch of stuff in there. I might go run this just for fun, but you'll get an easy point. It's easy to buy this late in the league too, and you'll just get an easy point. The other thing is, let's say you're very close. So let's take a look at our Atlas, and I'm at, what is it? 119 out of, I just need 1 more point on my Atlas. Let's see, right here. Show us. Yep, 1 more point, and then I'll unlock an important step. So I need 1 more. So to find out what I need, I just hover over this stuff, and like this. I might just go buy this, or I could buy that one. Nice, and I'll do that as well. So that'll be my a list of things for me to do. I'm going to go do that. So maybe this one will be pretty easy to do. Vaults of Itsiri, one of these. Maybe the Twilight Temple. And then I'll unlock another point, and that'll be a break point too. It's a good thing to get. So I hope that helps. Cool. Number 9 is an important tip. When you finish Katava the second time in your axe, you've finished the entire campaign, you really need to type in passives. And just like that, and then you're going to push enter, and you're going to be able to scroll back. And you shouldn't see any zeros here. 0 from the Cloven one. I actually have to go get that. So that's one of them. I leveled up this guy really fast, so I can go do the Cloven one. And sure enough, I can go get it, and I'll get a point for that. And this should say 24 if it should either say 24 or 22, depending on if you've helped the bandits. So we got deal with the bandits. We got 2 points from them. But if you've helped one of the bandits, then you'd get 22 points. But we're missing one right here because it's a 0, and I have to go do the Cloven one. So that's something else I got to do on this character, but I just leveled him up really quickly. Nice. And as a reminder, I made a C here for Cloven one, so that reminds me I've got to go run it. Cool. Next tip, number 10, has to do with the horticrafting station. If you don't have that, you can just go like this, push decorations, and type in hort, and it'll put it up, and then you can drop it in, arrange it, put it on the ground, and do all that kind of stuff with it. Cool, we've got it there. And let's get out of edit mode, just like that. And let's go see what we can do with this. There is a massive list of things you can do to items on here. You can gamble for items, you can duplicate things. There's a lot, but we're going to focus on one simple one. We're going to take this ring, and we're going to transform it into something else really quickly. Now, let's say for some reason I was low on my defenses. I was low on lightning, and I had way too much fire. And I look at this item and I say, oh, it's got a lot of fire on there. Well, we could go like this. We could take it, open up this, put it into here, and we'll just type fire. And we look for fire to lightning. So change fire to cold. That's not it. Change fire to lightning. Change a modifier that grants fire into a similar tier modifier that grants lightning. So if I wanted to, I could spend 500 of these, the primal crystallized life force, and I would change it from, that stat line would change from 22 fire to lightning. Now, if you already have lightning on there, it shouldn't work. I've never tried that because I don't think it works, but I'm pretty confident it doesn't work. So you can't get lightning. But then go through the rest of these. You might find some other things on your horticulture crafting. You can also buy these on the market and sell these in bulk, and always buy them, or definitely sell them in bulk, and then buy as many as you need. So I would only need 500 for that. But there's quite a few crafting things in here. And let's say you're looking for a ring and it's perfect, but you needed fire and it's got lightning. Well, that's okay. You'll be able to change it just using that, or, all the different things, cold to fire, all of it. So when you're trading, don't feel bad if you find a ring that has the wrong thing on it. You can, or if you have a bunch of excess lightning, and you can transfer it into fire. And then if you have something like this up here in your sheet, let's say you had this one, well, that's a whole passive point. Let's say you put this, let's say you had that on there because you needed it, but you transfer the lightning into fire and you're still balanced and you've got plenty of it. Then you could take that off of there, and now you got an extra passive point to spend. Pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful. Don't overlook that little device. I don't know why that's a little bit crooked. We could adjust that. I don't want this to get too long, so we're at tip number 11, but this is an important one, and it has to do with the bandits. Let's say you helped Alira, and that gave you the +5 to mana. It gave you the +15 to resist all, and the 20 to crit. Well, let's say you know what, you're set. You don't use mana anymore, and you want to change that. Well, you can grab 20 regret orbs, and you want to get the 2 passives where it would be like you went back and killed them all. Well, you go up to your vendor, and we're going to sell an onyx amulet, any kind, doesn't have to be rare, and 20 regrets. And you'll get a Book of Reform, which will grant you the same thing as if you killed them all. Now, you could also, let's say you did kill them all, but you want her favor. Then in that case, you would get a lapis amulet, and you can get them from a vendor. You can just check the vendors in each town until you find one. That's a fast way to get one. And then 20 of those. Or if you want Creighton's, it would be a jade amulet. Or if you want, Oak, you would get an amber amulet. And then you'd get Oak's favor. And then that's it. And then you just use the book, and you've got it. And that unlocks it. So that's nice to know. It's not that bad. It's pretty easy to do. So I hope that helps. And I hope these tips helped you guys. If you might have known, if you're a veteran, you probably knew all of these, but this is helping new people as well. Pretty cool. And have a good one, guys. Enjoy. Nice. Quick little 12th tip. I should mention this. For control left click, I have Lily Roth right here. She'll bring up her cell window. But she also has a divination, and let's say you want to purchase. So control left click cells. If I hold down Alt and left click, it brings up her gem tab. Nice. But let's say you have divination cards and you want to trade them. Control and Alt and left click brings up her divination card thing. So that's another thing. And it works with other people too. You just have to look around and figure it out. But I use her a lot. That's why I've got her there. And I put her there in that exact spot so that I can open up this and I can still see her in control left clicker to sell stuff. Pretty nice. I hope this helps and enjoy, guys. We can actually sell this. Nice.